Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's CJ. I want to welcome you guys back to the channel, and for anyone that's new, go ahead right now, hit that subscribe button to make sure you stay in tune for all future content, and especially all new videos related to this new reef build. And for all the people that are already subscribed, make sure you've already hit that notification bell, so that way you're the first one to see it the next time I post a video, and the next time I do a random live stream, which I never really leave up for review. So let's go ahead and get to it. Our first look at the 65-gallon flat panel from JBJ. Now, for anyone that was out, searching Google, searching YouTube like I did earlier, trying to get an idea of what this tank really looked like, a real review, and by real, I mean from a real user, not a manufacturer, not someone that's just trying to present it to sell it to you, you found the right video. The ultimate goal is just to give you guys my first thoughts, first look at the system overall. Some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, some of the improvements I felt they've made as far as design over the 45-gallon I used to have, and overall, just my first thoughts and opinion. And hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll learn more about this tank than you knew before, and hopefully be able to make your decision if you wanted to actually purchase it or go a different route. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything this tank has to offer. From what I've seen, it does include Starfire low iron glass. It has a really clean build design, black silicone edges. It doesn't give you that curved look that I had with my 45-gallon, which honestly I'm appreciating, because when it comes to cleaning and scraping core line off of curved glass, it's really a pain, and I really feel like this is going to be a lot easier to maintenance and keep clean. Now, besides that, it's a glass box, guys. Now, all glass boxes are not created equal, but I will say this thing has not disappointed, and I can really tell they did a great job putting this tank together. Now, the first thing I want to bring to you guys' attention is going to be these 3 pressure release holes. They're drilled into the back wall or the false wall, separating the display and the sump area, and the main benefit is keeping the wall from bowing or any of the seals from being stressed out. So it has a purpose, but it also causes a small issue. It creates some kind of reverse vacuum that I've noticed that can suck in an anemone that's trying to walk by, or any fish that may have died that's floating that could easily get sucked in. And even worse, it can even suck in detritus or anything that you're trying to mechanically filter. It completely bypasses that. So I want to make sure I share that with you all. Some people plug it. Me, it's there for a reason, so I'm gonna leave them be. Now, for anyone that's new to the hobby, you may be wondering, what the hell is CJ talking about with this false wall? What's the purpose? What does it matter, right? Well, it's going to be what we call an all-in-one aquarium, meaning you have your main display in the front, separated by a false wall, and a built-in sump in the rear of the tank. And the fact that this is built in is a major benefit, especially if you're new to the hobby and you don't have any knowledge as far as plumbing a system, you're uncomfortable with it, you don't know anything about Herbie overflows or bean animal drain systems, dorsal drain systems, just calculating the water volume between the sump and the display, make sure things don't flood, then power outages. Throw all those things out the window. You don't need to know about them or care about them with an all-in-one. You just plug this thing up, put water in it, and you're good. Now, I will say it does have its major benefits and also major limitations. The first one being the size of the sump area. You're not really adding water volume to your system this way, and you're also limited as far as the equipment you can use, especially if you don't want anything hanging on the back. So you got to keep in mind, the sizes of each chamber, which I will say, compared to my 45-gallon JBJ, it's a lot bigger. I mean, I can literally fit my entire arm in here. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I got a feeling that any, normal human being can fit their arm in this system. With all that being said, this sump area does provide you with 6 different compartments, separated by weirs that have water go over or under. So depending on the flow and the location, you can set up whatever mechanical or biological filtration you want. Whether you want to use the included filter socks or remove them and put some kind of custom tray in, or even peel the back of the aquarium off to expose the glass so you can add external lighting for some kind of refugium or nutrient export. I mean, the options are limitless. It just depends on how creative you are and how much equipment you want inside or hanging off the back of the tank. Now, it does include dual return pumps, 266-gallon power pumps, which definitely should move some water in this system. But overall, I'm really liking the design. When it comes to the lid on your aquarium, this topic has been talked about a bunch of different ways that I've seen. Some people prefer no lid, some people prefer screen tops, some people actually like glass tops on the Aquarium. And when it comes to the JBJ, it looks like they haven't changed anything as far as the design of the tank when it comes to the tank lid. It's just 2 panels of glass, I would say some very thick glass, probably tempered, and 2 connectors on the end that allow it to just basically clip on and hang on the tank. So as far as the design, I really was hoping they changed this part to maybe include a screen top, but this is what it came with, and it's probably something I'm not going to use. I just want to share it with anyone that was curious about this tank. Now for me, the main things I don't like glass for is going to be for maintenance. First of all, salt creep and condensation is going to build on this glass that you have to clean, and secondly, it's going to cut down the par. When light hits glass, it refracts, and definitely it's going to affect your numbers and your light penetration. So for me, glass lids are out. I'm probably going to go lidless or custom make some kind of screen top to put on this tank if I decide to later in the game. So just want to share this with you all, just in case you were curious of what came with the system. For me, the glass is a no. Now there was a major design change between the 45-gallon JBJ and the 65-gallon I have now, and it has to do with the sump area, or the weird configuration in the sump area, I should say. On the 45-gallon, just like this one, you had your overflows on the top right and top left that allowed water to enter the sump area, and then the water was supposed to go down and then under and then over into the return section. But they had included some kind of weird, false wall or glass wall on the bottom that left a 2-inch gap, 2.5-inch gap between the bottom of the tank and where the weir actually took water in. And what I found, that was a hell of a trap for the detritus, meaning I had to try to bend some kind of hose, when I siphoned out to get that detritus from the bottom left and bottom right corners of the sump. And I found it just made it very difficult to maintain my nutrients and, just export things. It just made it really a pain. On the 65-gallon, they removed that, and the weir goes all the way down to the bottom of the tank. So at the very least, it's going to make maintenance a lot easier, and it's going to definitely help with detritus not just setting, in pockets of water that don't move. So this is a small design change, but a change that is going to be a huge benefit. I want to make sure you guys paid attention to it and were aware of it, because it definitely will save you later on when you start your tank. So for those curious about what comes with the tank, this is it, guys. You're looking at 2 mechanical filters as far as filter socks and a coarse media sponge. You have ceramic biomedia, carbon, and 2 265-gallon return pumps, which should move a ton of water in this system. But this is the whole point of an all-in-one. Very simple. At this point, all you would need is water and rock, and you can start this tank right up. So that's all that comes with it, but you can definitely make modifications and improvements as you see fit. So last but not least, let's talk a little bit about the stand that's included with this 65-gallon JBJ flat panel aquarium. Now, I was fortunate enough to have my stand pre-assembled when I got it, so I opened the box, it was ready to go. Now, if you don't have it pre-assembled, those little lock nuts that you use, it's really not difficult. I put my 45-gallon together without any issue. But with all that being said, this stand is beautiful. I don't know who made the design changes, but I definitely can notice the difference in the quality of this stand. They have definitely fixed the wobbling issues I had on the 45-gallon JBJ, and I'm really happy with the quality and the finish on this tank. And what I mean by finish is going to be don't know what they used, but it's a black stand that is not just a flat black paint. It's some kind of high gloss, mirror type material. I don't know what it is, but when I first unwrapped this thing and cut the plastic off of it, I was like, wow, this definitely will look good in the living room. It definitely will not take away from the tank itself. So anytime you look at a stand and you can see your reflection in it, there's something nice about the quality of that tank, without a doubt. I want to mention about this stand is going to be the size of it, meaning it's 3 feet tall, which is going to give a great viewing angle of the main display, and even better, it's going to allow me to fit a ton of equipment underneath it. Besides how a stand looks, the functionality of it is most important. So if I can fit all of the planned equipment in here, out of sight, out of view of the living room, I think that's a major plus. So shout out to whoever made this stand. I'm really happy with it, and I definitely noticed the improvements from our prior JBJ tank. So that's going to be it, guys. The first look and first thoughts on this 65-gallon all-in-one flat panel JBJ aquarium. Man, that is a hell of a name, ain't it? I'm not saying that too many times. But the main purpose of this was just to provide a first look, not a review. You know, a review, you need to use something over time. I literally just opened this thing and I just wanted to get it out there just in case someone was like me and was curious, because I haven't seen too many people make a video on this tank yet. But with that being said, if you have questions, comments, drop it down below. Or if you have this tank, definitely drop it down below and let me know that you have it and your thoughts on it. But for me, I feel like this is going to be the perfect footprint, the perfect size tank for my needs right now when it comes to the ease of maintenance and this tank being able to survive, you know, life. Meaning if I get busy, it's not too big to maintain. If I have to move, it's not too big to move. I mean, it definitely is going to provide everything I need for me right now in the hobby. And I'm going to go into, like I said, a little more detail on the comparisons between the all-in-one systems and, you know, tanks with sumps, and some of the benefits and some of the things maybe you should think about and maybe not do in future videos. So make sure you guys subscribe, because I'm going to try to not leave any details out. You know, we're sharing the good and the bad with this tank, with the build. You know, next should be my equipment and a few things I'm going to run on it. I mean, there's a tons of things that I'm going to share with you guys. So if you asked a question, just make sure that you watch the future videos to get all those answers. So before we go, gonna be a quick reminder for anyone that's new to my channel. I did start a second channel, and it's gonna be called BeEazy RR, and that channel is purely dedicated to my adventures on my Honda CBR 1000 motorcycle. That's right, Moto vlogs is something I'm gonna be doing in 2019. So if you're interested in riding, or you're just curious about what I do on my bike, definitely go over, hit that subscribe button. If you don't care about it, hey, ignore the last 15 seconds of your life and stay right here. Get your popcorn ready, because this is going to be a hell of a ride for the 2019 reef build. So with that being said, time to get out of here. You guys keep doing what y'all do. Y'all be easy. Happy reefing. I'll catch you guys on the next update.